Good morning, it's Mitchell Prentice here, and today, or in this part of the video, we're looking at the Australian income tax system, and I hope that you've completed the previous work and questions on taxable income and what is taxable income as opposed to, say, gross income that we have. Now, what we need to realise with this table, and it might change from year to year, but it's been this stable for quite a while now, is the school-age students or very low-income earners do not pay any tax. Okay, they do not pay any tax because they're a low-income earner. But when we read this table, it's got a sliding scale. And what this means is that just because you're in this range here, so just say your taxable income is $20,000. If you have a taxable income of $20,000, okay, that does not mean that you're paying 19 cents for each dollar, which is the same as 19%, by the way. It does not mean that you are paying 19 cents for each dollar of the whole 20 grand. Okay? So some people will say, I'm at the 19%, or I'm in the 19 cent tax bracket. This is called the tax bracket. But that doesn't mean that they're paying 19% of their whole income. It means that they're only paying 19% of their income that is over $18,200. So what we get then is we can calculate the income tax from that, and how we do that is we would say that its income tax is therefore 19 cents for every dollar, so you would write that as 19%, okay, 19 cents for every 100 cents, okay, of anything over 18,200, and we normally put that as, in brackets, our income, $20,000, minus our 18,200, okay. Some people and some teachers don't just write that. I better put that away. Some teachers don't write this whole bracket. However, I do like to write it. I do understand that on your calculator, here's the calculator, you'll probably just recognize that this is 1,800. But I just like to put that there so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so it's 19%. I'm just going to put 0.19, which is 19 cents over 100. And then we will times that by our 20,000 minus 18,200. Okay, $342. So that is what somebody on $20,000 will pay as income tax. I forgot what that number just was. $342. Now, if we then get to another bracket, say this $50,000 bracket, or the third tax bracket, sorry, from the $37,000 to the $80,000 tax bracket. It has an extra number here, $3,572. We need to add this to the total, and I'll talk about what this number is soon, later in this video, but I'll just give you an example first of just straight to the point of what we do need to calculate. So, e.g., 2 is, say we have a taxable income of $50,000. Then to use this table, we say our income tax, okay, our income tax is equal to, let's have a look and just copy this, it's $3,572, so $3,572 plus our 32.5 cents for each dollar, so that's 32.5% here, 32.5% of anything over 37, so plus 32, wrong color, 32.5%, that's the same as writing 0.325 of $50,000, or whatever your amount was, over 37,000. Okay, so for this bracket, that will be the calculation, and in our calculator, I will just put this down as 3572 plus 0.325. Again, you can just use the fraction if you want, but 32.5% times brackets what your income is over 37,000. So 7797. 7797. Okay, so even though you earn a $50,000 income, you're paying $7,700 or nearly $7,800 of that income as tax. So equivalent. That's equivalent to, what is that 7,800 as a percentage of 50,000? So I write 7,797 over 50,000. So that's the same as equivalent of the total pay of 15.6% of the total pay. Okay, so in total, you're paying about 15.6% of your total pay. What this is here, you times by 100 if you wanted to see exactly that amount, 15.594. As we get to much larger incomes, okay, I might do this $80,000 to $180,000 one as my last example for this part. We'll see that percentage of the total income part will rise. So just say I have an income of $125,000, and then we'll use this tax bracket for that. So we have a taxable income for our last question of $125,000. Okay, so we look at our tax bracket and we work out, we can just write down what our income tax calculation is. It is 17,547. Okay, 17,547 plus the 37% here, 37% over 80,000. Okay, plus 37% of whatever your income is over 80,000. So the difference between them looks like it's 45,000. Okay, that's what we put on our calculator. Again, actually, I might put the fraction part in for you, but you don't. You could obviously write, say, 17,547 plus. You could obviously write 0.37 or 0.37, but I'll just show you 37 over 100. That still works. I just go across and then go times by brackets 125,000, take away 80,000. So this person pays an income of $34,000. Sorry, an income tax of $34,197. Notice now my second example question was 15.6% of their income. The amount here, this of 125,000, is equivalent to 27.4%. Okay, so it jumps up. So you're paying over a quarter of your taxable income in tax. Okay, so as you start earning a lot more money, you pay a lot more tax in the Australian system, and that's why it's called a sliding scale. And my final thing I want to talk about is a graph of this. So say I want to do a graph, okay, a graph, and I'll just do a rough one with not the best scale, but I want to graph your income. So here, income on the horizontal axis, and compare that to, or I should say taxable income, and compare that to your income tax, taxable income compared to what they're going to charge you in income tax. Okay, and how this looks on this scale is it starts off with 0 tax here. So 0 tax until you get to that $18,200 mark. Then the tax is going to go up and go up by 19 cents for every dollar. So it would have a gradient of 0.19 up until we get 37,000. So if I had a proper scale, I would have up until 37,000. It would go up. The income tax goes up as a little bit of a sloped line like this. So just say it's 19. I'll put it a little bit less. So it goes up 19 as a straight line. It goes up 19 cents for each dollar. Now, this is where we get this number from. Okay, there's a number just here, 3572. Okay, and this is just to help with our calculations. So, if I wanted to work out that 3572, that is exactly if somebody earns 37,000. Okay. Well, what they are getting is they will have to pay. Here's the very end of this tax bracket. They would have to pay 19 cents for each dollar. So 0.19, 19 cents for each dollar of what their income is, 37,000, over 18,200. So how much were they more? 19 cents of what they were over this, and that's where you get 3572. Okay, so I could draw this on my picture that if I used a coordinate system, that point there is if you had an income across of 37,000, you pay 3572 would be the height of income tax. Okay, so this would be up at 3572. Now the next one is a little bit steeper because it's more than 19%. So it would be, maybe it's about like, just say this. It's a little bit steeper. This one would have a gradient of 32.5. So 0.325 it's going up by. And that goes all the way up to $80,000. So it actually is quite a lot longer. So I'll make it a little bit to scale. So that's actually going to go all the way across to 80,000. That's a bit steeper than the previous one. So that here gets us now to $80,000. And we can see what this calculation will be. That point will be when you're $80,000 as an income. That height is going to get us what our next number will be, 17,547. So that is, if I had an income of 80,000, I could type in my calculator as 3572 plus, just so you can see it, 3572 plus 32.5% of what your 80,000 is over 37,000. So of what $80,000 is over 37,000, and that's where we get our next number, 17547, just here, 17547. So this gets us to 17547 as an income up. So it would be across, and this would be at 17,547. Okay, this function is a piecewise function, and as you can see, it has different components. The next part will go up even steeper, and then it will get to a point, and then you'll get to the last one that is a very steep graph, and you could work out the numbers from there. What I want you to do for the final part of this session is complete these 10 income tax payable questions. So could you please work out what the income tax payable is on these 10 taxable incomes. Okay, I hope this lesson has been helpful. Please make sure you have your work to submit at the end of this session, and if you hadn't completed it by the end of this session, please have it ready to submit at the beginning of next.